Alright guys, as I promised in a previous video, I'm going to make a mini Lego city. But first I need to clear the table again. Wow, I seem to be clearing this table and making it a mess again on a weekly basis. But this time the mess is because I've been going through some of my sets that I've been selling, and I've been selling a lot of stuff, and yeah, so there's packaging down there, there's, my tape and all that exciting stuff, and some sets, and lots of empty boxes I can use to send off, then lots of sets that are inside these other boxes, and what's inside the Tesco bag? Is it any Lego? Is it exciting? No. It's some bubble wrap and a tape dispenser that I didn't need, but I thought, yeah, I'm cool now. I'm selling stuff. I need one of those, so I got that as well. But yeah, let's clear all this off, and I think someone's coming to buy some later on today, actually, so I need to set that aside. But yeah, let's clear it off, and yeah, there's that train station back there, and a passenger plane. Well, that won't fit in the Lego city, but the train station can go in there, and then, yeah, let's do it. Okay, so the table's clear now. Let's make this Lego city. Woo! I mean, obviously, it's only going to be this big, so it's not really a whole city. It's just going to be a section of a city. So inside this box is just some of the city sets I built recently, and obviously there's the train station on top. And I've got a lot of Lego city sets in storage, and I don't want to get them all out because not only is that going to take up a lot of time, but I won't fit them all on this table. It's only 140 by 60 centimeters, not massive. And again, this display has to be temporary because, well, I've got another exciting display that I want to work on. So, I've only got one space, so I can only do one thing at a time, but I promised you this, so let's give it a go. I grabbed a couple more boxes of sets that I've built that I'd like to use, or at least some of them put in here, and then just some other sets from storage as well. And it's mostly going to be just official stuff because I just want to see what it's like, putting all these official sets together. That's one thing that I like to do as a kid, and it's the easiest way to make a Lego city, by using official sets. And I mean, I've talked about these before. Look at them. That's a 16 by 16 plate, and it's like nothing there. It's barely a facade, but it just represents an idea, I suppose. When I have more time, more money, more space, I would love to make a proper custom Lego city, but this will do for now. Okay, so obviously I have a white desk with a cardboard top, and that isn't going to work, so I thought I can use this grey kind of vinyl wrap piece instead. So I was filming a time lapse getting the table ready, and then I pulled on the grey kind of vinyl wrap tablecloth thingy that I had, and then the tripod holding the phone put on the floor and it broke. So I think I've got a spare one, but that was unfortunate. Okay, I found another one, it's fine. It's only this top bit here. I mean, you get them with like every tripod ever, so I've got quite a few spare, so it's not the end of the world. Back to the time lapse. Okay, so now the kind of grey base layer is down to represent like concrete and road and stuff. I've started to place some of the buildings just randomly, just to decide what I want to use and how it's all going to fit on the table, because there's so many things I want to use, but I can't fit them all. And I mean, there's no room for a train loop, but I can have a train line suggestion, right? Okay, just interrupting the time-lapse here to show you what things kind of look like from a different angle, where I've just kind of unloaded everything and it's all a bit of a mess. But things are beginning to take shape, and obviously I've got the train. I've talked about it before, there is no way I can fit even just a simple loop around here, because the Lego track turn radius is just, yeah, it's not going to work on here. But I will have like just a straight row running across the front, just to kind of give the suggestion of there's a running train line, obviously. And yeah, there's not a lot of space, but we can make it work. And back to the time lapse, where I'm just again rearranging things just to try and find a configuration that works for me. I have kind of previously mapped out how I'd like to make a little city layout on this table. I did make it on like a spreadsheet about a year ago when I first started doing this, but you don't know until you do it for real that you realise some things just don't go to plan, and hey, that's just fine. You can rearrange things and make it work to the best that I could. Okay, so this is the kind of rough idea that I'm going for here, and I did plan this out using a spreadsheet, but I guess I measured up wrong because there is slightly less space. I knew it was going to be tight, but there is slightly less space than I was expecting, although I managed to get the buildings that I wanted to in their rough place before any customizations or anything. So it's still official sets at the moment, but it just gives me the idea of what I want. So we'll have a little road going through here, narrower shops and buildings along here next to the railway, next to the train station, and then obviously we've got the car dealership, car wash, petrol station. In my original plan I didn't have the car dealership, but since building it I just fell in love with it, so I need to that's why this area is pretty tight, because originally this wasn't here, so I need to kind of rework that somehow, maybe shift some things along. But yeah, I mean, just look at those facades of shops. What an excuse that is. Oh, that's awful. But it gets the point across. This is the general idea of my little city kind of district. It's just a snapshot of something larger, so just pretend, the roads go off elsewhere, so does the train. There's a whole city out there. We're just seeing a very tiny, well, basically one street, really. So that's kind of buildings and vehicles place. It just needs minifigures now. But before we add minifigures, let's address the situation with the roads. As you can see, I don't have any roads. Well, there is that one there, and I have just placed my only Mills plated road that I have just there to see how it would fit, because ultimately that's what I want to do with this. Even though it's a small area, the end goal is to have it all Mills plated and look a lot nicer than what it does now. But it's going to be a tight squeeze, and as I said, I made a layout on a spreadsheet before where I kind of mapped out thinking, yep, okay, it's all going to fit, and it's a little smaller, so I must have measured wrong somewhere, but that's what one looks like. And obviously I don't have any more made up right now. I've got plenty of base plates and actual road plates. I just need all the other extra things that you need to make these. So I need to get some more of those, but that's what it kind of looks like now. As you can see, I've got a box full of these plates, and I mean, they're a little bit dusty, but I've got plenty there. I just need to make them into Mills plates, really. I've laid the road plates out just to kind of give a better representation of how it would look like once it's all properly finished, and it's given me a bit more space here than I expected, so that's kind of useful. Maybe the shops and buildings can be a bit bigger, or there'll be enough space for a decent sized sidewalk and things. But yeah, I might need to do some shuffling around once I actually do it for real, but this is a good kind of, suggestion of what it would be. We've got some green space down here, obviously the bus stop there with the coffee little stand. There's the donut store, the Lego store, a bakery, a bike shop, the pizza shop. And then this side we've got a toy shop and the bank. Moving over to the kind of industrial area with the car dealership and the car wash, petrol station, which is very cramped in there, so I don't know how that's going to work for real, but I might have to take that out, or I might have to kind of rejig things around a bit. And then of course the train station out front. It'd probably make more sense if I flip that train around so the passenger cars are actually in front of the station. There we go, that's much better. Now the passenger cars are actually in front of the platform, although that gap is still incredibly too big, so I'll have to make that a bit smaller. There's no need for it to be that big, is there? 2 studs max, not 4. But there we go, that's the main bit done. Let's just add these minifigures and smaller details, and I'm ready to call it a day. I couldn't help myself, so I grabbed a few more of my models from storage, and I've added them in, mostly little vehicles and things, just to kind of fill up the roads a little bit more. But minifigures are placed, and we got all sorts of storytelling happening, so let's go through it. Okay, let's start off with the train station, and as you can see, look, we got people driving around, and it's very busy today. And in fact, every building and every vehicle has plenty of minifigures in, including the train. Look at that, you can just see through the window there. Absolutely packed. It's a very busy day in this Lego city, and there are lots of people at the station waiting to get on and waiting for their train to arrive. Inside as well, getting snacks and tickets. And then just behind the train station, we've got the car dealership, car wash, and petrol station, where there's lots going on as well. So we've got this lady here who's just got her car back from its MOT. Hopefully everything's all good. Some other cars in the sales room there. And then let's just pretend there's more space here than there actually is, because it's pretty tight, but here we got a guy putting some more fuel in for his motorcycle there. Someone coming out of the car wash. And there's people inside the shop as well. We've got the road here. And oh, I think I forgot to put someone in that camper van. Okay, there we go. There's someone in there now. And there's someone in the back as well. But I'll show you those later on. And then, of course, somebody in this car. We got just outside the pizza shop where the delivery guy's motorcycle has fallen over on top of a stack of pizzas and it's all caught fire, so that's not very good. And then up top is the dojo, where there's some sort of martial arts lesson happening up there, and then there's the pizza chef just down there waiting for customers. Outside of that, we've got the bike sports shop, where it looks like this guy's just bought a brand new bike. And then next to that is the bakery, where there's lots of customers as well. And then outside the Lego store, there's always lots going on with the new delivery coming in, so that's good. Hopefully some new sets are arriving just in time for launch day. And it looks like this guy's just bought a new set as well. Moving around to the next street, we've got a Uber Eats or food delivery driver going by there, and then people at the bus stop waiting to get on with... Luckily there's a few seats left on the bus. Then we've got the coffee stand where some friends are having a catch up. And across the street by the bins, which is maybe not the best place for a family photo, but here we got a mum and their baby with the dad taking a picture of them on the bench. And then this guy's cleaning the streets, making sure everything's all tidy. And then on this side of the street, we've got the scooter rental stand with this girl checking it out. We've got an elderly couple. Maybe they're doing some exercise, some sort of power walk. And here we've got the other toy shop where this boy is showing his friend the new hat he's got and how he wants one as well. So he's looking pretty shocked there. And then there's just a few people in the bank, just the usual morning, depositing some money there. And there's just another look at the train station. And now I'm going to show you some of the insides of these buildings over there. Starting off with the bakery, looks like this guy is getting a little impatient with the kid who hasn't made up his mind yet. He's not sure which type of bread does he want. His mum behind him doesn't seem to mind, although this guy, maybe he's just having a bad day because yeah, he is not happy. And then inside the Lego store, this kid is very lucky because it's actually pretty quiet, which is unusual for a Lego store if you've been to one. But there we go, he's buying a new set there. Looks like it's a police helicopter maybe. There's some other sets on the shelves. And of course, the pick-a-brick wall. And then inside the donut shop, we've got a couple of friends just having a little catch-up, getting some sweet treats. Pretty nice and chilled. And there you can see there are many figures on the bus. And in the train as well. So there we go, I'm pretty happy with that for like a rough draft, putting things together using official sets. There is my section of a Lego city. Pretty happy with how that turned out, kind of follows my original plan. Now all that's left to do is obviously customize it to improve it and finish making more of these Mills plates to add lots of detail and kind of really bring this to life a bit more. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.